To this, the final game of the day. Geekay versus Aegis. One will take the #1 spot from Group A. One will be sent to number 2. Both making it to playoffs on Friday, though. So don't worry, you will see more of these teams.
Oh, yeah.
But who is going to claim victory? Aegis licking their wounds. Have they come back stronger? Or are GK just going to run them over once again?
Nothing crazy starting out the game. Just a 5-point fan. We'll see a bit of vision control secured in that bot lane for Aegis as well, of course. 13.6, and I actually believe it was 13.5. Makes it so that you can't just go ahead, drop that ward, and then grab yourself a sweeper. So that one's going to be pretty locked in. GU again getting that ward down on the chickens, but it was expertly avoided by Skewmond last time. This time around, though, he's starting up on the top side. And interesting to note, he has gone for Electrocute. A lot of these AP Gragas's will go for Dark Harvest when they're in the jungle. So this is going to give Skewmond more early damage at the cost of late game power. And we'll have to see if he can use that effectively, because what you don't want is to not have a good early game, fall off, and then go for your big combo onto Rin, and then he lives on approximately 5 Dark Harvest stacks of health, and you go, well, probably could have had those if I had played differently. So keep an eye on that. This implies a lot of early aggression as he skips his Gromp and goes straight for the Wolves. So I believe he could be doing, what's the path? Is it Blue Wolves, Chickens mid? Could be an option, but he knows what that ward is there. Maybe he's dodging the ward and it's Blue Wolves red. I don't know if that hits. I think that should hit you level 3. But either way, I don't think he was spotted out because I didn't see any pings on the mini map. So maybe he is once again getting pretty custom with his path, trying to fake a full clear.
Definitely did a really good job in the first game. We'll see if it can come through again. Viking already hitting that level 3, going for a more classic path, just going blue, Gromp, Wolves into your top side. And it's going to be piling up to the top side, so we'll be ganking Sartorius potentially, or from the top side of mid. Whereas we may see Gragas rear his head into the bot lane earlier. Rin and Decap obviously a huge component of the win in game 1. As right now Sartorius taking a huge trade from Lot there, the Gnar dishing out the damage.
Lovely little level 3 right as you turn into Mega Gnar. Gets you a very easy engage and a nice chunk to get rid of one of Sartorius' pots, as we'll see Skewmond now again turning it back and pathing up to a top side. I'm not sure if the path's plan was to maybe deny an invade. I don't know what option that was there, but sort of again he does this. I might want to look for an early gank angle, and then his bot lane isn't really in position for it. I don't know if that's a miscommunication or if they were again trying to set something special up.
And Sarah going aggressive here, cleanse on Shiganari, going to be able to keep him attacking. And now Viking going to be caught out by Skewmond here. Might actually pay with his life, to be honest. Does knock back Skewmond. But it's going to have to flash over this wall. Will get to safety. But Skewmond a lot more aggressive in this early stage.
Yeah, Skewmond feeling comfortable in this matchup, I think it was just at the very end looking to maybe get an E flash, but instead happily takes the flash from Viking and grabs himself a crab as well. Again, maybe Viking's not expecting him to be there. He knows he started on the blue. So he thinks that, he'll just be going for the bot crab. But because he skipped out that Gromp, did a cheeky little double back. He can go ahead and grab that. Now he looks for a gank up on top. Sartorius does have flash, but he doesn't have TP. So there is a world where this really ruins top lane if Skewmond can find this kill.
Lot, maybe going to get Mega Gnar as well. Going to add to the CC. Oh, the damage from Gragas is big. Lot, Ignite ticking. It's not going to be enough, though. And kill over to the Gragas there. Sartorius, as you said, no TP.
That wave is ruined. You can see Lot has a lovely little recall here. That was, I think it was a cannon and 2 casters, maybe 3, but either way, perfectly going to set up. Not a permanent freeze for Lot, but he's basically not going to miss a single minion. Oh, he actually will TP back. So maybe he feels like he was going to miss a couple, but either way, it's in a terrible spot. Sartorius.
And Terra needs to be careful here. Tries to flash away. Hook now thrown. Secures the kill, and Rin going to get a free bit of gold into his pocket. Nice run from Gyu to help the bot lane set that up.
Alright, yeah, grab that kill and put it on over towards Rin. Again, same thing happens. The wave is coming in towards Rin. So you can see that Shiganari, he really wants to try and fix that. And he will time it well. There's no trick here. I think no one's expecting him to stay on that kind of manner. Surely no one would be that greedy in a tiebreaker of the EMEA Masters. So They don't think he's going to be there. He will be able to crash the wave. Nice little play from him to make sure that that will bounce back towards him and then not going to be put in an impossible spot when Hantera doesn't have flash. Now Vosatoris, I mean, the wave is still pushed up from last time, and now he doesn't have flash.
Skewmon looking to close out another gank here. Not getting that extra damage. Overheated will go Satoris. A lot of damage is being put out, but lots goes Mega Gnar. An easy kill over to the side of Aegis. And they found their footing in this game early on. As Hantera now going to be rooted up, actually hooked to. And Giyu trying to get down this damage to kill off the Fiona. No flash for them, and a lot of damage trading back. Ignite taking over, and there's the kill! The Death Ray picks up one. Ika finding a trade there in the mid lane. And what looked like a really good setup from GK.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun interaction there as Hantera gets, golf swinged back and then instantly sends himself back in once the Zenith Blade connects. But it ends up being a 1-for-1. However, I think you're pretty okay with losing your support as GK are. Sorry, not losing support, losing Giyu, because GK, they're more than okay to just move on over. Vikings in the area, and they'll go down towards this Infernal Drake. Not the best Drake to have early on, because you don't really have a lot of AD or AP for it to multiply, but you'll take it. You'll get the stacks going, and Hex Drake going to be the second, arguably one of the strongest to just have a simple one stack of. So they'll be looking forward to trying to secure that one in about 5 minutes, especially seeing as they have an advantage on Rin. So Hantera now going to look for a Hex. Oh, maybe not.
Oh,
and look for something.
We're going to go for a base. We're going to go for a pause. And I will say Aegis, we had a bit of speculation as to how they're going to come out, how they're going to look, how they're going to be moving around. Much cleaner from them so far. Much more on the pace, much more ready to play, getting these proactive movements, getting those ganks top. They've really put a hampener onto Satoris. He is going to have a bit of a rough time now against Lot, who was probably one of the better players in that last game. The Gwen almost bringing them back into it. So Lot getting ahead is a little bit scary, and they do have to watch out for that one. But so far, the bot lane still very much in control. Rin does seem to be like the key player for GK. So it's not over just yet, but signs of life are definitely there for Aegis.
Well, so I was, I'm curious now if how much of this play from Skewmon is because of that path, right? Him skipping the Gromp, going down, and then doubling back up. Because it just worked out so well. Him being topside, he gets the flash out of Viking, gets the crab, and then Satoris has the wave in a terrible spot. And if the communication was that, oh, he started blue, even though they would have seen if he went to Gromp because of that ward, but if the communication was, oh yeah, he's bot side, and so Satoris felt safe to go try and crash that wave, and then it's like, oh, the wave is absolutely ruined. He doesn't have TP. Now he's stuck with an Ignite in a lane where he's behind. And Skewmon just goes straight back, continues to put him in a bad spot. We look top, the wave is still in a terrible spot for Sartorius, who can't really walk up because it's a level 6 Gnar. This is not looking good for the top side of the map. And it also means that Skewmon has just been able to have the early impact that you need on an AP Gragas, so you can get yourself those Sorks, get the extra move speed, really get around the map, and have all the burst you could want. As look at Sartorius, he goes down to River, he's just getting vision, he goes back to lane and instantly just walks back to his turret. He's like, I've got nothing going on, especially if Gragas is on the top side of the map, which, spoilers, he is.
And Giyu now going aggressive onto Ika, going to knock him back. Decap is here as well. Chaos Storm going to go down, ticking over. Is there the damage? Not yet. The Skewmon now in the mixer here, tries to get something going with Viking with a great block play, plays Bouncer, saves his mid laner, and forces Skewmon back into his jungle.
And blowing the flash from Skewmon, massive as Shiganari.
Oh, Shiganari going for the 1v1, dodges out from the Blade Caller, and Rin flashes away. Will he have the range to get out? He just about makes it. Shiganari saying, you know what, round one, you had me. This time, I'm getting you. I'm ready to bring the fight. And he is looking fierce. Ika dodging out from Decap. It feels like Aegis have come back with a whole new mindset. They're very much ready to play this one, and they are looking strong.
I'll say it feels like Shiganari, if he's a little bit faster with the cleanse and the flash there, he can just get that kill. He can run Rin down. But he's bit the flash, but just the cleanse. He ends up being locked up for just a little bit too long. Can't get the range that he needs. But that's quite alright. Still blows out the flash from Rin, scares him off. Meanwhile, the team making magic happen over on the top side of the map. Moving in towards this Herald. It's going down pretty slow. Sartorius does have... Oh, and Lot has just gone mini, so he has no stacks, no rage for this fight.
Equalizer down, gonna start burning them. Nice casket to separate the fight. Stolen Rift Herald though! Maokai takes it! Viking finding the smite success. Humond, that has got to hurt a little bit.
Oh, he does lose out on the objective. Just gets out with his life. However, again, Sartorius blew both suns for that. So maybe Skewmon takes that a little bit personally and finds his way again back up to that top lane. Especially seeing as, looking how his jungle's spawning. Top side is down and spawning as we speak. All of his bot side up. So I'm thinking somebody just goes full clears bot to top. There's no Drake to do anyway. And then punishes the flashless Sartorius up in that top lane.
And Lot building this lead. As we said, Sartorius having a bit of a rough time losing those summoners. Down 15 CS, almost 20 CS. Tower platings are going as well. The Gnar starting to build up quite a lead. And unfortunately for GK, they haven't been able to make it count in other places. Down by 1.3k gold overall. And if we have a little tab to look at where the gold is going, I imagine most lanes are up.
You have to assume that it's going pretty well for Aegis right about now. Themselves about, hang about, bit of engage.
Decap going in for the aggressive play with Viking, brings them in, they get the lockdown and one has fallen. Shigenari already removed. Pantera looking like he's going to be the next, but Flash away will keep him safe for now. Skewmon though, could they take the place? It's not going to be enough, not enough damage, not enough CC left over, but one and done, that's all they need.
Alrighty, well, get themselves a couple of, well, not a couple, just the one, as you said. Cheeky kills, but still flexing a little bit, asserting some pressure and getting your bot lane ahead for the up and coming Drake fight. Always going to go well, as that thing is up in 20 seconds. And well, once we see the items again, we'll find out if Rin or Viking came out of that with any major spike. It's worth noting, Skewmon still no flash. Having had that one burned, in that mid lane fight earlier. And that means just the surprise factor of body slam, flash, no counterplay is not going to be there, which is not going to allow him to make any crazy pick. As we see nobody finishing their mythic surprisingly early for this fight. So still relatively even looking towards this Hex Drake, as you can see a couple of waves cleared out in bot lane. Nobody particularly has prio. Skewmon just walking up into the river, trying to see if he can't find something.
Pantera there going to maybe do some vision clearing. The standard for the support. Skewmon is going to give them some assistance. And GK, do they make this play? Do they go for this dragon? Do they try and fight this one? Obviously, last game we saw them stack up all for the first 3 Drakes, and it really did put a number onto Aegis, where they were forced into fighting these fights. However, this time it feels like Aegis have a lot better control. They don't necessarily have to be pushed away, but they have actually given up the space. So GK could walk in and take this dragon early.
Alrighty, well, we'll see what's happening, as it has been started up by Viking, but doesn't really have the squad with him quite just yet. Shigenari, though, staying down bot side, wanting to clear out this wave. I think sometimes you can just give that wave up, but it looks like Aegis not wanting to commit to this one. Don't want to try for that fight when Yu does have TP available. So there's a nice little rotation there to put, the guy who has TP up into the top lane, bring Sartorius down into the mid lane, and then go make the play. Obviously, it's pre-14 minutes, so he would have to TP to a turret, but it's still an option that Lot did not have available. However, what's going on? I think Lot managed to get himself a plate or 2. Is now Pantera trying to set something up with Skewmon, but the Herald has been deployed, and Sartorius, still on the roam, comes down bot lane with the equalizer available.
Now we have to mention Ika is in close pursuit, so could make their way down as well. 2 platings will be secured there for GK. And a little bit more gold into their bank. Now only 300 gold separating these 2 teams. Aegis had a bit of a lead at the start, but it has diminished. Sartorius also getting a little bit cleaner back into the game. Not being denied and punished like he was early on. Making this a much more even game. 2 Drakes over the side of GK. They are starting to stack them. Fights should be occurring as we do start to enter that early mid-game. People starting to hit their power spike soon. So who do you favour right now?
I mean, right now, I think it's looking pretty good for GK. They've managed to shut down you know, some of the early plays that Skewmon wanted to make. They've gone ahead and done this lane swap to get Sartorius back into the game, though he is down still 30 CS. He gets a bit engaged on, though.
He is going to be locked up here. Chaos Storm over the top of the good. Lantern get him to safety. Ignite going to tick out. Not going to get the kill. And here, Hantera in trouble, but a good casket keeps them safe. Skewmon, the hero of the moment there for his support.
Gets him out. I think maybe a bit of a misplay from Hantera. I think Hantera can just drop the entire stack of wards to try and deny that Lantern as much as possible. And see if they can't guarantee the kill onto Sartorius, because he does manage to get out. And there's great disengage, though, from Skewmon to make sure it ends up just being a 0 for 0. Lot now, bit of a sticky situation. Has the flash.
Just advance, he's going to lock him down with Nature's Grasp, but a lot of damage. Giyu just pumping out damage. But Ika joining the fight now with Skewmon. They're trying to go aggressive, but Ika taking quite a bit of a chunk back. But Giyu is low. His death will be slow, but it is assured. Ika with another kill. The rotations coming in clean from Aegis.
It does have to commit the TP, though. But Hantera surprisingly up here.
Oh, Viking overstepping. It's going to be able to flash away. Sartorius not able to join the fight. No equalizer. So not as powerful Ika. Probably doing quite a bit more damage at this moment in time.
Yeah, well, the Herald is going to be started up, but the equalizer should be coming up relatively soon. However, the Maokai ult will not, so yeah, could be in a bit of trouble if someone wants to contest it, but, you know, same can be said over for Aegis. They're pretty lacking in cooldowns as well, so they're not going to fight it. Just the second Herald. Nothing too major. They'll go ahead and hand that one over.
Second Herald claim. Gold even between the teams. It is really neck and neck as we go into these later stages of this game, but Aegis, I feel like they're quite happy with this, right? They have the scaling of the Victor, of the Aphelios. Yes, the Xayah scales. Yes, Jace doesn't fall off as much either. But Victor, Aphelios, it feels like that is the late game. The choke point angles that you can have off that comp are really strong. So if you set up around those objectives early on, you can really just end the game for GK.
Yeah, it can get very dangerous, but at the same time, you know, you get into that choke point, suddenly Maokai Rumble, you know, turn it around. And I do feel like, you know, yes, we have a lot of scaling, but we also have a Gnar, right, for Aegis. And I'm not really too sure what he's going to bring to the table in those fights, unless you get the perfect fight, and he's, you know, they've timed it well, and so it's right as he's turning into his Mega form, and Hantera gets a bit of lockdown and a choke, and then bada bing, bada boom, you wipe it as he jumps on in. But I just think that Aegis have done, it's not Aegis even, GK have done a good job of shutting down the early snowball that Aegis were looking like they were going to have. They've done a great job managing to just lock that down. Yeah, okay, we take a bit of an L in the top lane, but Sartorius, he's coming along fine. You know, they've managed to get him through it, and they managed to get extra kills over onto Rin as well. So now I think there's not too much to fight for anymore, other than objectives. So we just go, we wait for those, we trade waves, and then hopefully have a bit of control in and around the river, because you can see, you know, Rin and Decap pushing this wave out first, means that they can move on down, get a little bit of vision. Decap still has all three of his wards, and he's actually just going to camp the bush, because if anybody wants to come and try and contest this Drake, contest for vision, they are going to be hooked right into that sapling, and then suddenly, you know, Giyu's here, and it's all going to go downhill.
Balto on the map. BK 2-0 up on Dragons. This would lock them into Soul Point. Hook lands onto Hantera. There is the casket. Knocks back Decap. But it's not going to bring anyone else. Nature's Grasp going to hold them back as Skewmon gets taken down immediately. And Lot now with the jump forward. But it's big trouble as the equalizer comes down. And Lot has been punished. GK 2 for 0. The hook slightly short. Shiganari able to survive. And GK now have momentum to go get this Drake.
Wow, what a great hook from Decap. I mean, the fight seemed pretty average. It's like, oh, we just traded a little bit here and there, it's fine. And then he gets that hook that pulls Skewmon just over the line onto all of the feathers, which allows Rin to get the root, get the massive burst. We can absolutely shut down Skewmon and then find Lot as well afterwards, which then turns into a third Drake. So suddenly now Aegis handing over the, you know, that second Drake so sort of casually has now put them against a Soul Point GK. So gonna have to be a little bit worried about that one. And again, Aegis, they started off so strong, had a great early game, and then it got brought back by GK, who managed to stabilize, and now GK have managed to put themselves actually into an advantage and made the game very scary for Aegis, who are gonna have to deal with that Cloud Soul very early on. That's a 24-minute Cloud Soul that you're gonna have to worry about.
GK are consistent kings. They are doing exactly what they need to do when they need to do it. They're moving to the plays at the right time. They're getting set up before the objectives. They're holding the enemy team in awful positions for them where they don't want to walk in, they don't want to get caught, but they have to make a play. And every time GK capitalize, they get these advantages and they push them further and further. Herald now drops off into the top side. 2 members up there as well. It'll be dangerous for Lot to stay as the Herald does crash, but help is on the way. Hantera and Skumod on the side, looking to get into this fight. But they are going to lose the tower immediately. They just have to protect the tier 2.
Alright, they should be able to, yeah, as he goes into Mini-Nar, pick up that Herald. Make sure it doesn't get a second charge off. Will take a lot of damage, though. An Equalizer, again, just used to chunk him, threaten him off, make sure he can't hold this, so that Rin can walk up and free hit the turret. Again, good for GK, and good for GK being proactive on this, because honestly, if I'm on GK right now, I'm like, lads, just wait 5 minutes. Not even because Cloud Soul wins us the game, but because they'll probably just panic about it, and you'll find something then. I would not even be trying to, set anything up here, because you sort of don't really need to. The Cap does need to Hex Flash out the back of the pit, though, as it doesn't get caught out. But GK are in a great spot now to just sort of ride it out. Just be patient. This is sort of what we saw in game 1, day 1 from Partisan versus Entropic, right? Where it was a slight lead for Partisan, and then they just rode it out. They just waited. They're like, yeah, we're ahead. They're worried. And we're scaling. And not even outscaling, we're just scaling. And that sort of seems to be the position that GK can now be in. They've only got to wait another 2.5 minutes.
Wait, they will. Towers falling, gold is going up. Now 2k gold lead for GK. And it feels like every game I watch that they don't necessarily have the greatest start. They're not the most explosive out of the blocks, but they build these leads consistently, smoothly into those mid to late games, into those team fights that matter, into the big play moments, and you fight them. They're just ahead. They use that advantage, win these team fights clinically, and move on to the next one. And they're doing just that. They've taken top tower. They're now going to use the Equalizer to get some space and take this mid tower. Casket is going to be used. Toro's going to take quite a bit of damage. A bit of heal will come through. Nature's Grass going to go down, but Decap very low, gets taken out there. A sneaky pick as Lot moving in, not Mega just yet, gets the stun.
Oh!
But you good flash will keep him safe.
Nice little flash to get out there. Good solar flare from Hantera, though, to at least find out that one pick onto Decap and force the cleanse from Rin. Minute 30 on the Drake means that the major cooldowns are still going to be back up. All those ults should be up. So if we have still managed to pick up at least the flash from Viking, and the flash from Gio alongside the cleanse from Rin. We'll see if those can be levered going on in to the next fight. What we'll also see is that there's been a bit of a delay on Rin's build. He picked up a Vamp Scepter just for a bit of lifesteal, but that does mean he's not going to have the Quick Blades available going on into this Cloud Drake. Meanwhile, for Shiganari, you'd have to assume that he's relatively similar in gold. I don't think he's more than 900 gold behind. So I think Shiganari should be able to, maybe he just needs one more wave, reset, and pick himself up his Mythic. Have a nice strong 2-item power spike. You combo that with the right guns, and you can very easily turn around this Drake fight.
Ooh, base though, base from Xayah gets the second item.
Oh!
They built it now.
Lord. Good lord, I take it all back. Alright. Oh, it's doomed for Shiganari in that case. Oh, no, that's actually real nice.
The flip-flop of casting.
Shiganari's running out of time to recall, I'll say that. It takes about 30 seconds just to get to the Drake. That's not including setup. So this could actually just be a very heavily favored fight for GK now, as they just have 2 items on more members than Aegis do.
So you have to be careful. Ika able to get a lot of poke out already in this fight, so they are starting to set up nicely. Also, Shiganari, I don't know if they're on the best guns. They're obviously red and white is the one that you really want to look for.
I mean, this isn't terrible because you can get a pretty big. You either the flamethrower ult for huge AoE, or you just send the flamethrower and then get an AoE root.
Lot! Oh my days, Giyu with the solo in the bot lane. Lot is gone, and GK are on Baron. They've split the map and are getting everything that they want and more. They're looking for this Baron now. Aegis moving forwards. Can they stop this from happening? They're trying to contest. They are in a good position. They are holding them back. They are going to stop this Baron, but now here comes the Equalizer. The Nature's Grass. Shiganari going to have to use that cleanser. Hat in trouble. Hantera will go down. And Aegis,
Wait,
once
what's
again...
going on, bot? You!
Giyu! He's just pushing! Gets
My
the
God.
kill, goes to the inhib. GK, what a play!
There's just no winning for Aegis. He gets the solo kill. They buy enough time up on the top lane, even though the fight's not perfect. He managed to get one. Oh, Skewmon.
No,
Oh, no, he's been hooked.
no, no, they don't! GK have just had everything! They get the Baron, although Rin in a bit of a rough position here now, going to have to go into the sky. Will pull back those feathers, but goes down either way. Chaos Storm kicks up their life, but Ika, you're not going to be alive for much longer. Goodbye! The Baron secured, the inhib taken down, many a kill, and GK are so far ahead. 6k gold in the lead, and Cloud Dragon has spawned.
Yeah, I'm talking about, oh, lads, we just don't have to do anything. Sit back, chill, wait for the Cloud Drake to spawn. The Cloud Drake spawns, and it's like, right, solo bolo, into a Baron, into a pick, into finishing the Baron, and we'll grab an inhib all at the same time. This is very much not what I was expecting to come out from GK here, and they still have the option to go ahead and take that Drake. We'll walk the Baron and Powered Wave in onto mid lane, pick up that turret. People have to be bot to answer those supers, and this Cloud is still an option. They hate this Cloud. I think that the angle is actually we don't want Cloud because we don't want to risk an Elder throw. Cloud Soul is not going to win us this game, but Elder could well lose it. So we may never see that Cloud actually being picked up, because hey, if he just ever send anyone for it, they're probably going to lose another inhib. So they're never going to have that opportunity, and we might see GK just not look for it in the name of taking, more pressing objectives.
GK hate Cloud Soul, confirmed. They don't want it. They want the base instead. Tier 2 tower mid going to go down. It's what we've seen from them all day, every day. GK moving the way that they need to. They push up with the team. They use their advantage. They bully away Aegis from these plays, and they put them in such a difficult position. Aegis now playing 7k down. Base in tatters. It's starting to crack. But can they hold out? Will they bend and not just break? We'll have to find out as the pressure is being applied. GK looking for this tower. Ika in trouble! The equalizer! The shield's going to keep him alive. Ticking over. Will one bit of damage be there? No! It's not going to be found, but they found Lot instead! Big Cast will take down Satorus. They lose one for this play, but they are still very powerful. A lot of members are still up. You look at Rin, the star for the show. A lot of these games going to open up the base. Tier 3 tower gone. Inhib in sight. Moving forward. Hantera looking for an engage. Can they find anything? Skewmod looking for some damage. But they're just not able to find what they need. A quick pick for GK. An Inhib opened up. And they're going to go back to base.
Alright, they got what they came for. Picked up another inhib. And pretty perfectly timed, to be honest. Grabbing that one about 2.5 minutes after taking the bot lane inhib. Give or take. And that sets up for a very nice... You're never going to have that moment where, like, oh, both inhibs have respawned and now we're in trouble. You're always going to have something pressuring the base, and that's going to work out well. We'll see. I mean, moving on to the bot side, I wouldn't be surprised if they just don't do the Drake. Again, the potential for throwing in 5 minutes is maybe a bit too high, but maybe now that they don't have the Baron, they're like, it's just something to do whilst we wait for Baron. But instead, no, we just walk it on into mid. Don't quite have the wave, but the next one is coming through alongside Sartorius to go ahead and look for the base. I mean, if Viking hits a big ult, Sartorius holds on to the equalizers for just the right moment to time alongside it. This could well be game ending. Lot is going mini as well, and he's got a hole breaker, which is not going to be too useful right about now. There it is.
The equalizer on top, burning them alive. Tower taken again, using this combo exquisitely. Nature's Grasp, equalizer. Oh, Skewmod, very low. Does survive though, but the inhibit's not going to have the same fate. That's the third one down. Double super minions now crashing into the base. Aegis are backs against the wall, but can they stand tall? Feels like GK are going to make them fall. We'll have to find out if they can stall. They're trying to hold on, but Hantera gets a pick on the Rin, looking for the damage, but there is the feathers, and he shoots back! He takes down the Victor, and Shigenari is going to get absolutely sliced. They managed to find one back as Skewmon gets him in the damage, but he is going to fall as well, and GK are rising! Quadra for Giyu, and they take the game! They are #1 in Group A! GK is the name!
There it is. Back-to-back wins for GK to close out the day and close out their group 6-1.